Hey guys, welcome back. This is Boss. Hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by. We're trying to get to do a video on sounds, basically on sound sequencing, etc. But I want to talk about Coyote fundamentals, basically because I just believe that if your fundamentals aren't solid, then even using the best sounds and sequencing, you're going to get really inconsistent results. So I think most Coyote hunters typically pay attention to these fundamentals. I know I certainly do. So anything you hear from me, that's coming from my experience and my own thoughts. And I'm happy to hear what other guys have to say on this, but I just wanted to share with you some basic things that I pay attention to when coyote hunt. So we already talked about sounds. So let's talk about sight for a second. Sight is another tool that a coyote has in its arsenal to, avoid being hurt or damaged, killed by you. So, and anything else, matter of fact, that's how they hunt. They survive on these three basic tools. Okay, so the thing is, if you're going into a stand and you're day hunting, etc., or even night hunting, you want to reduce the odds of you being seen, no matter what. That goes from parking your vehicle, it goes to walking into your stand. So if you're cutting skyline and you're walking along the edge of a skyline tall and proud, you got a pretty good chance if there's a coyote there and he happens to have an eye in your direction, he'll see that movement and catch his eye. That coyote probably you're not bringing in. That's might be the end of it, unless it's a young coyote. So that's something to always be considering. There's lots of ways to blend into your surrounding. People are using camouflage. There's tons of options out there today. Not like when I was a kid and, I made my first jacket out of a old green army jacket, and I just took some brown shoe polish and some tan spray paint, and I remember just painting that thing. I gave that to my brother. He still wears it occasionally, but yeah, you've got tons of options for camo, and I would highly advise you use it. There's things you can do, like if you're day hunting, ducking into shadows. That's really nice, having the sun behind you. Those are ways to minimize or obscure yourself. Another thing is using decoys, putting a decoy out there. That coyote, when it hears the sound, it's going to look for it, right? And if it sees something moving over here, and then that's you, it's going to bust you. But if it sees a decoy over here, and it catches its attention, it thinks there's some down prey right there. It may kick it into a sense of confidence and it come in hard or move in a lot quicker than it normally would. And it gives you a lot more room to adjust or reposition yourself and get set up to shoot. So anything you can do to reduce your visibility. They say that coyotes see blue. I'm not a biologist. I have no idea whether that's true or not. But what I do know is that if a coyote sees you, your odds of getting it have been reduced dramatically. So, if at all. So that's a real basic thing. Try to think about that when you're walking into your stand, you're getting set up, etc. That you want to make sure that you're just as small a footprint visibly as you possibly can make yourself. And at night it's the same thing. I've got IR light and a night vision that I can drive in dark. It gives me an edge, and I use it. I use every advantage I can to outsmart Wiley. So there's lots of, we could do 40 minutes on this, I suspect, just by itself. But this is one of the fundamentals you new guys really should be considering and thinking about if you want to kill coyotes consistently. So anyways, let's get on. This is the second part. Let's get on to the third part. I want to talk about scent, and then we'll move on to doing some sounds. I'd like to really talk about sound sequencing. So we'll be back to you here in a little bit. Thanks.